Sai Ram. There's a very interesting story that I read about two babies in a womb, twins, talking and conversing with each other. And so one baby asks the other, "How do you think that our universe has got formed?" The other baby, the wiser one, says, "It definitely came from the Big Bang." "What is the Big Bang?" "Oh, in the beginning there was nothing. And then came the Big Bang. It was a bang which exploded and created the entire universe as we know it today." Aha. So, how did that happen? That such a beautiful creation got created from a random event like that? There, you have got the keyword random. Out of so many possibilities and probabilities, this combination somehow struck. And that is why the universe got created. Wow, only this combination, don't you think that it's a miracle? That's not a miracle. It's just a coincidence. These people call coincidences as miracles. Then how did we come about? Same way, probability. Is it? Okay, we were created because of a coincidence. But then how are we being sustained? Where is our nutrition coming from? Oh, that comes from the amniotic fluid. This is the fluid that is surrounding us, and it has the proteins, the vitamins, the carbohydrates, the fats, the minerals, the water, everything that we need is there, and that is where we absorb it from, and that is how we are being sustained. And where did those nutrients come from? Oh, from the elements that are also there. But where did those elements come from? The Big Bang. I find it so difficult to understand all this. Then tell me, dear brother, what better explanation have you got for the creation of the universe? So the first baby, the not so wise one, says, "I think there's a loving creator, the mother, and the mother has created us and the mother is sustaining us." That's all? Yeah, that's all. What nonsense is that? Where is the mother? Can you show me the mother? I don't know, but I have been told, "Nenu nee intane jantane kantane ventane untanu." In Telugu, that means I am in you, above you, around you, below you, all around you. So I think the mother is like that. In you, around you, above you, where? No, I just see the amniotic fluid. And thus went on the debate and discussion, when the truth was that the mother is indeed above them, below them, inside them, all around them, for they are in the mother and the mother is in them. Let me take you back to the year 2014. I had received an invitation to travel to the United Arab Emirates to give a few talks. Now, this was the fourth international trip I would be undertaking. I had been to Singapore twice before that, and I had been once to Trinidad and Tobago in the West Indies. Now, on those previous two occasions, the Singapore trip happened in 2009, and it's a detailed, long story in itself. But the long and short of it is that Swami had given me vibhuti packets and had blessed me to go to Singapore. In 2013, when I had to go to Trinidad and Tobago, that time there was a profuse shower of vibhuti from a photograph of Bhagawan at my own residence that gave me the confidence, the blessings and the permission to travel there. Now, I had not yet received any signal from Swami and I was yearning and praying for it. In the meanwhile, the government of India made it compulsory that every citizen must have a machine-readable passport. Till then, it would be a mix of machine-readable passports and manually written passports, and it was now time for all the manual ones to upgrade to the machine-readable ones. And therefore, I had to even get my passport renewed. While I was waiting for a sign of grace from Swami, I decided to get my passport upgraded so that I could be ready if I had to go. And therefore, I found myself along with my wife and daughter at Hyderabad at the passport office applying for a new passport. With the election of Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister of India, things had become very, very smooth and corruption free, and therefore I could see and progress very fast through the passport office. When I reached the final stage, I needed to submit all the necessary documents, after which my passport would be made for me. And there I came across a stumbling block. The lady asked me for proof of marriage. The previous passport had been made when I was 15 years old, and now my circumstances had changed. I had got married and therefore I needed my marriage certificate as proof of marriage. I did not have that. And therefore the lady said, "Don't worry, we'll give you a 1-year time. You need not go through the whole process again. Whenever it's possible, come here directly to me with your marriage certificate and you will finish this last stage of clearance to get a new passport." I agreed to do that. Now, in the meanwhile, she began to flip through my passport and she seemed a bit surprised that there were stamps of Singapore and Trinidad and Tobago in that. She asked me, "How did you go here?" I said, "I went by flight." She smiled at me, gave me back my passport and she said, "You don't worry, you come whenever you can. As soon as you get your marriage certificate, your passport will be through." And I left. To complete the story, a couple of days later, I managed to procure the marriage certificate, which was in Puttaparthi, and I was in Hyderabad. I procured it, went there, and yes, everything went through. But what was amazing was I was wondering, why was that lady so surprised to see the stamp of Singapore and Trinidad and Tobago in my passport? That was when Pooja's cousin suddenly pointed out and she said, "Arvind, really tell me, how did you travel?" I said, "You are asking a strange question just like that lady. I traveled by flight." She said, "No, how? This is a minor passport." What's a minor passport? A minor passport is a passport that is issued to somebody who is lesser than 18 years of age. It has a validity of a maximum of 5 years, or when you turn 18, whichever is lesser. It had been issued when I was 15, which means by the time I turn 18, the passport expires. And yet, on that minor passport, I had traveled not once but twice to Singapore and had returned back. And I had also traveled to Trinidad and Tobago. Simply impossible technically. And that is when I realized the meaning of Swami is above me, below me, around me, within me, everywhere. Dear brothers and sisters, I realized that I was trying to seek permission from Swami, seek a sign from Swami that I should do something. Not realizing that the very fact that I am doing something means that he has allowed. If Swami doesn't bless, forget traveling to Dubai, I won't be able to take a breath even. And now when I look back at the episode when I was seeking his permission to travel to Singapore, the very fact that I could go there on a minor passport shows that it is Swami's grace. Because immediately my passport got disqualified. In fact, I was so thrilled with this experience, I wrote it in a blog. The link for that blog is above here. And in that blog, I posted a picture of my old passport, and the police, that is the Bangalore police, picked it up and they used it in a tweet to say that this is an invalid passport, you will not be allowed to travel on this back then. So you understand, that was the level of invalidity that my passport had, and yet I could travel. As this realization hit me, I said, "Swami, I will just go with the flow, Swami. I will ensure that I am in sync in my thought, word and deeds with your teachings and your love, and whatever happens is your will. That's all. I don't need any other sign. Thank you for such a beautiful message." And even as I said this, dear brothers and sisters, what happened is so magical. The very next day, I get an email from an unknown female. Let me put it that way. It was an email from an unknown lady, but it was addressed to me, and it said, it was an email welcoming me to Dubai, and it was signed by Sathya Narayana. For those of us who know Swami's childhood name, Sathya Narayana is Swami. And I felt, oh my God, what is this? Somebody is writing to me and telling, looking forward to seeing you in Dubai and signing off Satyanarayana. But the email ID from which it originated belonged to a lady. I just did not understand what was happening. But I was so thrilled. It felt like Swami is telling, I am waiting to receive you in Dubai. I did not leave it there. I pursued the matter and I found out that this sister Vaishnavi, she had a son whose name is Satyanarayana. And now comes the interesting part. He has a friend whose name is Arvind, and that Arvind is coming to Dubai, and he has written a email to him from his mother's account, obviously, because he was too young to have an email ID of his own back then. And then he has keyed in the wrong email ID, the wrong in his opinion and for him, but the perfect one for me. Yes. People generally feel miracles are nothing but coincidences. But dear brothers and sisters, in my heart I am convinced that every coincidence is a Sai-incidence, is a miracle that He is working for us out of immense love and grace and compassion on us. And so, from that day on, I firmly believe that every breath I take is His. Every thought I think is His. Every word I speak is His. Every act I do is His. Swami, may our lives, may our love, may our everything belong to You and You alone. And may we realize Your constant presence in our lives, wherever we are, whatever time of the day it is, and whatever the situation is. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.